one like that too, the white envelope you have. From last.
Miss Mayor, we're live.
Thank you, David. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our regular council meeting. Today is Wednesday, August the 20th, and it's 7:04 p.m. Before I go on, I just want to announce that we did not have a special meeting, so there would not be anything to report tonight. Pastor Jackson, good evening. Can we have you do an invocation, please?
Heavenly Father, we come before you right now in the name of the Lord. You said to acknowledge you in all of our ways and you would direct our path. This is what Baldwin Park needs, our city council, our mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and all those that are on the council, not only those, Lord God, but those that are working with Baldwin Park to make Baldwin Park what it is and a better and great city. Heavenly Father, we're asking you, Lord, to touch the fire department, touch our police department, that they may go rolling around to protect our city and be able to go home safely and with their families. Heavenly Father, we're asking you and touching our school district, Lord God, and touching our children and our teachers that are teaching our children, Lord, that the drug situation will cease without giving, allowing people to use drugs in any way, fashion, or form. Heavenly Father, we're asking you touching our businesses, Lord, that our businesses in Baldwin Park may flourish as well. Lord, we need unity in this nation, in our White House. We need unity in our schools and in our homes, Lord God. We need unity in our city council meeting, wherever we are, Lord God, that bringing us in together as one. In the name of the Lord, we pray. Amen.
City Manager Carrillo, will you do the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Yes, please continue to stand. Please remove your hat, put your right hand over your heart, and follow me.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America, to the republic that stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Jackson, for your words. And you know, unity is so important. And I think our country is lacking the unity, but as a city, I think we can prove everybody that it can be done, because when we're united, we're stronger. When we work together, I think we make a bigger impact. Thank you for those words. It always makes such an impact when I hear you. Thank you. Okay, so now we're moving, since we already did the roll call. We are going, no, we haven't done the roll call. We're going to do the roll call. I'm sorry. I meant the Pledge of Allegiance.
Mayor Avila,
Yes, here.
Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Here.
Councilmember Ayala,
Here.
Councilmember Estrada,
Here.
Councilmember Lozano.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now we are moving to proclamations, commendations, and presentations. Councilmember Estrada, I already reported that we have nothing from closed session.
Just the announcement.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
The announcement about
Announcements? Okay. Let me put on my glasses. Maybe that helps. The city council are also members of the board of directors of the Housing Authority and Finance Authority, which are concurrently convening with the city council this evening, and each council member is paid an additional $30 stipend for attending the Housing Authority and $50 for attending the Finance Authority. There we go. Thank you. And now we will move on to proclamations. Councilmember Estrada, please.
Thank you, Mayor. So we do have a proclamation recognizing Vaya. So I'd ask the Casares family to join us up here. Present them the proclamation.
Oh, yeah.
We have a proclamation in loving memory of Vaya Rube Beatrix Casares, and I know that we closed on her behalf at the last council meeting, but I thought it was appropriate to recognize her and recognize the gratitude that you have allowed us to be part of this moment with you all. Also that you've allowed for Vaya to live on, helping many other people. So whereas the city of Baldwin Park mourns with the Casares family the heartbreaking loss of Vaya Rube Beatrix Casares, a radiant 7-year-old. Whereas the city of Baldwin Park mourns with the Casares family the heartbreaking loss of Vaya Rube Beatrix Casares, a radiant 7-year-old whose life, through what though brief, was filled with immeasurable love, light, and joy. Whereas born on April 20th, 2018, on a beautiful Friday morning, Vaya surprised her loving parents, Jen and Carlos, with her early arrival and her eager spirit. Trait that remained with her throughout her life. She was welcomed with open arms by her adoring siblings, Van and Violet. Beginning was surrounded by warmth, laughter, and deep affection, whereas Vaya was a free-spirited and thoughtful child known for her bright smile, infectious energy, heartfelt hugs. Her love for music, singing, and dancing brought joy to every space she entered, and her compassion made everyone around her feel seen, valued, and loved. Whereas in her 7 years, Vaya lived with deep curiosity, wonder, and kindness, values she carried through her final act of generosity as an organ donor, giving the ultimate gift of life to others. Whereas Vaya is remembered by her devoted family, parents Jen and Carlos, siblings Van and Violet, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and her cherished pets, touched everybody with her joyful personality and infectious smile. Vaya will be greatly missed by all who loved her. Now, therefore, Alejandra Avila, Mayor of the City of Baldwin Park, along with Mayor Pro Tem Daniel Damon, Council Members Jean M. Ayala, Emmanuel J. Estrada, Manuel Lozano, City Clerk Christopher Sines, and City Treasurer Joanna Valenzuela, hereby proclaim August 20th, 2025 as Vaya Rube Beatrix Casares Day in honor of her memory and precious 7 years of life. Spirit, compassion, and light will forever live in the hearts of those who knew her. We offer our deepest condolences to the Casares family and stand beside them in grief.
Thank you. And now we have a presentation from Jose Martinez, General Manager for the Valley County Water District.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council, staff. See a few new faces out there. Look forward to meeting the new staff. And I was proud to see Chief representing the great city of Baldwin Park on Sunday out there at the Dodger game. So it was good to see you out there, Chief. I do have a presentation. Again, my name is Jose Martinez. I'm the General Manager of Valley County Water District. And also want to note, we are one of 3 water districts that represent the city of Baldwin Park. We provide water to about 60% of the residential customers in the city of Baldwin Park. Next slide, please. First off, I would like to thank our board of directors for their continued support of the goal of meeting safe, reliable water and providing that water to the city of Baldwin Park. So certainly without their support of staff to meet those objectives of providing that safe, reliable water, we certainly couldn't have achieved that mission without. And here tonight, we have our board president, Lynette Pacheco, and director Muse and Vargas. And I believe online we may have a few other directors of Galvan and Leos. Next slide, please. Reliable water. This is achieved by many working parts, and we put together a little bit. It is a little bit of a puzzle of the different wells, our reservoirs, our valves, our pumps, our staff of 31 all work together to provide a goal of safe, reliable water. Every year, our district looks carefully at the costs associated with delivering this water supply to our customers. This past year, we used an independent consulting firm to conduct this cost of service study, which was conducted back in September. And we had a public hearing earlier in the month in June, and we sent out notifications of this public hearing, 12,500 back in April 24th. Unfortunately, we had 0 people attend this public hearing. We still did go through the process. We went through the entire presentation, and that motion was brought before the board for consideration, and the rates were adopted at that time. The rates that were adopted reflect the true cost of water of what it is today. And as a public agency, we can only charge what it costs us to deliver that water to our customers. Next slide, please. Also, this past year, we went through the process of conducting a strategic plan. And in this strategic plan, we defined our values of care, our community, accountability, resilience, and environmental stewardship. Each one of these is our core values in which we look to not only provide the water, but also to engage in the community. Reverend Jackson said perfectly earlier of unity, and certainly have appreciated the unity of working with the city council over the years and meeting your goals and objectives while also assisting the district in meeting ours. Next slide, please. Every year I provide a little bit of an update of how we're doing with the water supply. Thankfully, if we were to look at this as our bank account, we're doing a little bit better than we have in certainly the last 5 years. We're about 5 feet or 50 feet less than our historical high. And we're about, let's say 80 feet or so above our historical low. So if this was your bank account, you say, okay, we're doing okay. We're not doing great, but we're not doing terrible. If we go to the next slide, this one provides a little bit of the drought map. I know in past, a lot of people focus a lot on the word drought. Are we in the drought? And that's one of the first questions I get from family and friends, or I get from people that I run into throughout the city. Are we in a drought? And we really need to move away from this focus of where the drought. A drought is one of our many challenges that we have. And we have to act as if we're always in a drought and utilize water and use it in the most efficient process as needed for whatever we have going on out there. We have permanent restrictions in place. We used to be at a stage 1 water supply shortage. We have removed that stage 1, and now we are in no stage. So technically our customers could water 7 days a week, but there are permanent restrictions that we have. And these permanent restrictions match a lot of the state requirements as far as no watering between 9 and 5, because that just increases evaporation, no hosing down of sidewalks, no watering 48 hours after a rain. So these are the lot of the permanent restrictions that we have for our community. Next slide, please. I mentioned earlier some of the challenges we have, from changes in regulations, stricter water quality regulations, climate whiplash, no true indication of what next year. This year, we've had about 6 inches of rain. Historical norms are about 16 to 15 inches of rain. So we have not met or have not had adequate local precipitation, which is very necessary to replenish local groundwater supplies. Groundwater protection is certainly huge on our priority. Emergency preparedness. Last time I was here, we focused a lot on the LARIO and event. We are still actively working on the LARIO. I know a lot of the spotlight has moved away from it, but our staff is still attending meetings, and we're still holding EPA and others that are accountable for potential contamination. Not only are we working with that, we're still dealing with contaminations that have occurred back in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and occur today. Those contaminations cost money to remove that, cost money to monitor. The cost, a lot of buzzword now is PFAS. A PFAS sample is almost $1,000 a sample, and we're required to collect hundreds of these a year. So there's a cost associated with all these challenges that we have. And not to throw into inflation and aging infrastructure, misinformation that was huge on the fire, about a lot of misinformation that was going out there, and misinformation on social media, and individuals and communities relying on information on social media, where we have scheduled numerous public hearings and try to be as open with the discussions that we have with regarding to rates, and we have zero in attendance. So I encourage the community. We meet every Monday, the second and Thursday each month. If you have questions, come to our meetings. Call our customer service. There you can get accurate information. As the title of this presentation is information from the district. And we're planning to hold a workshop on October 2nd, where you can title it Straight from the Source, and hear information, ask questions that you may have about the water district. So the next big issue that we're dealing with, and you may or may not have heard of it, but I've been attending many meetings for the last couple of weeks, is on the golden mussel. The golden mussel is an invasive species that is making its way down the California aqueduct, which may eliminate all imported water supplies through the State Water Project, which are very essential to Southern California for the replenishment of our overproduction of groundwater. So currently, staff from Metropolitan Water District, from Upper District, from Maine, San Gabriel Basin, as well as all the producers in the valley, San Gabriel Valley, are meeting this challenge and working with lobbyists and meeting up in Sacramento to talk to legislators, because there are trailer bill language that will address some of the issues dealing with the liability and the potential lawsuits of transferring this golden mussel from place to place and working with the county. So this is something, hopefully, before it starts getting the spotlight on it, that we'll be able to address directly with the state through legislation and work with the county, so we don't see a disruption in the service coming down from that water source from the State Water Project. Next slide, please. I'm not going to spend, if I was going to spend a lot of time on these next 2 slides, unfortunately, we'd probably be here the next another 15, 20 minutes. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but certainly if there's question after I'm done with this presentation, the council can ask some questions. But there are some reasons behind the charges that we have, and you get some chatter as far as fixed charges and variable charges. There are logical, and there are through the study that justify why we have these fixed charges and why we have these variable charges. And we plan to go into these details as we have our information from the source, our community workshop on October 6th, 2025 at 6 p.m. And that will be held at our district headquarters. So certainly invite everybody to attend that. One thing to note on this, and I'll talk about it a little bit more on another slide, is that our average residential customer uses about 9,000 gallons of water a month. Anybody remember using 9,000 gallons of water a month last month? That's our average in our community, using 9,000, 12 units of what we use. And we have fixed charges, whether you take a drop or not. We still have to maintain the reservoirs. We have to maintain the booster pump stations, the pipeline, all the infrastructure that is required to deliver that water 24/7 without question. Now, if you actually use that water, there's variable charges on that. And the next slide goes into a little bit more detail of how, if we can move to the next slide, please, of how we charge for tier 1 and tier 2. Now, it's no surprise that yes, we have adjusted our rates over the years, and there is a big difference between tier 1 and tier 2. This slide highlights the logic, the reasoning, the justification behind those huge changes between tier 1 and tier 2. The tier 2, to make a long story short, is water that actually we receive through the state water project. So if this golden mussel impacts that, we have a potential source of water that we will no longer have access to. So we won't even be able to charge. We may have to go into some type of drought allocation to limit or eliminate all outdoor watering. But as I mentioned, hopefully we don't get to that point, but certainly that is something that we're monitoring. On an annual basis, we deliver 2 billion gallons of water to the community, to Baldwin Park, Irwindale, West Covina, and Azusa. So that's our average water delivery to our customers. Again, don't want to go into too much detail, probably already did, but we'll go ahead, and if there's any questions, we'll go, that they can be asked at the end of this presentation. Next slide, please. I think did we skip one? No, sorry, we're good. Some of the revenue that received from this tier 1, tier 2 also are utilized to pay for our capital improvement projects. In 2020, the district conducted our last master plan, and we identified over $40 million of priority projects, from high level to mid-level priority projects. This was a 10-year planning forecast. Any delays to projects that we are aware of now only increase in future costs to get them done. We are aware of these projects now, and potential liability. I don't know if anybody's been watching the news the last couple of weeks of the main breaks that have occurred in LADWP. Those are infrastructures, are systems that are running to failure. Water districts have, unfortunately, notoriously run their system to failure. And failure comes at a higher cost when you start to repair that. The district has approved through our rates a 5-year capital program for a total of just under $12 million. So every year, through the rates we generate, we collect $2.35 million. So if you look at this, you start doing the math. Okay, we've identified $42 million of projects over the next 10 years. We're only collecting 11 million. Are we doing enough? How are we bridging that difference, that delta between what is known? Knowing that if we wait and we delay, the cost of this only goes up, and the liability of this, of not being able to ensure safe and reliable, goes up, and system failure. Next slide, please. We have actively at the district been going after grant funding. We have secured over $15 million in alternative funding through grants, county, FEMA. Our biggest one is $11 million. So yes, we are only collecting 11 million for capital projects over the next year, but we're bridging that deficit by outside grant funding. As mentioned, 11.5 for the construction of new reservoirs. The district has known about this issue for 30 plus years. We had a master plan back in 1999 saying we needed additional reservoir supply. We have, in the last 8 years, moved towards this project. We also, with grant, if anybody has dealt with grants before, you have to front a lot of the money. Grant people don't pay back right away. It could be a year, 2-year delay of receiving grant money back from these sources. So if the district doesn't have the money to front these projects, or you have to go out for a loan to front these projects, which has additional costs associated with it. So we continue to build our reserves to front some of these projects and to pay for these projects because we don't receive tax money from the state. The only money we generate is through what we charge to our customers. And that is the money that we collect to not only pay for our day-to-day, but also to pay for the future in these capital projects that have been identified. Next slide, please. So to sum up just some of those facts that I went over, and I heard this the other day from the chair of the Metropolitan Water District, that MWD is not immune to system failure. Valley County Water District is not immune to system failure. Safe, reliable water come at a cost. They come at planning and management to ensure that we do what our mission to do is to deliver 24/7 safe and reliable water. And that is to the benefit of public health, emergency protection, the economy of the city, but everyday essentials of safe, reliable water. Next slide, please. So affordability is also key to the district, and we understand affordability is a big issue. And some people have posed, how do you define affordable? What is the definition of affordable for water? Well, I challenge anybody to Google, what is the average rate of LA County for water in your monthly bill? What is the average water usage? So I've done, and our rate consultant did some of this work, but as mentioned, our average customer uses about 9,000 gallons of water a day. 7,500 of that is covered through our tier 1 costs. 1,500 of that is covered at our tier 2. That's what they pay for those 2 units once they go above their allocation of 7,500. Our average bill with our new rates in place is $62. The average monthly water bill, and you don't have to take my word for it. There's some great Google AI researches out there, and you can do your own research. But go ahead, run the numbers, and the average bill in Los Angeles County is $80 to $90, 29 to 45% more than what Valley County Water District is currently charging. If you break it down per gallon, we charge 0.0029 cents per gallon. If you were to buy that at the store, it'd be about $2, about $1,000 more, or 1,000% more than what we charge per gallon coming out of your faucet. And again, we try our best to inform the community that water coming out of your tap is safe and reliable, and it's a viable source to cook, to clean, and to drink. Next slide, please. And I know hopefully the council has a little bit clearer picture. It's a little fuzzy on this screen here, but in our rate study, our rate consultant did a comparison of local water districts throughout our service, the San Gabriel Valley, and close by LA County. Valley County, as mentioned, our average bill is $62. There's another water district that may or may not be circled in here that provides water to the city of Baldwin Park as well, that is charging 67% more than Valley County Water District. As mentioned, we only serve 60% of the city, and there's another district that is charging 67% more. And there are variations between reasons and justifications from other water agencies, but a lot of these agencies have similar sources, similar treatment plants, similar staffing. So these are the variations. So when we start talking affordability, I would like to at least identify that I feel we are doing a very affordable job of providing safe, reliable water to the city of Baldwin Park. Next slide, please. And there may be customers and there may be council people that say, well, my bill is way over $62. And if it is, then I challenge or I ask that you utilize the resources that we have. It's not every day when someone who sells a product often tells you to stop using it and to reduce, but that is our active goal. We have rebates, we have in-house home surveys, There's a lot of money that is being placed by outside funding sources and grants to run these programs. So it's not additional cost to the district to fund these programs. These are actually programs by Upper District, actual programs from MWD, from county, state, federal funding to run these programs and to utilize these rebates. So if you're paying more than $62, I challenge each customer, find ways to be more efficient. Look at your water use and figure it and call the district. We'll send staff out there to work, not only with residential, but also commercial customers to see ways when we can identify so they can be more efficient. Next slide, please. We also have an affordable rate program, which we recently just increased. We went from $5 a month to $10 a month for those who qualify for the CARE program, or I believe it's the CARE program through the gas company in the Edison. So that program is available for our customers to utilize. As a public agency, we have restrictions through the Prop 218 process of how much of we cannot utilize money that is generated through water sales to offset individuals' water bills. So the money that we actually utilize to fund this program is proceeds that we receive from cell phone towers, our interests that we have from reserves, our money and our reserves. So that's how we self-fund this program. Also, we have a new program that customers can sign up, commercial and residential customers, My360. This, and I don't know how many people want to track their daily water use, but if it's a major issue, I encourage customers to find this. Also want to state throughout the years, one of our main capital projects was replacing 11,500 residential meters. This meters actually alerts the district if water is running for 24 hours straight. Before, almost 60 days would go by before we would notify, hey, there might be a leak. But now with this new meter infrastructure, or this new meter that's in place, that we are actually able to alert the customer if we see on a much quicker time frame if they have 24-hour water movement. It's a high indication of a leak. I will say one thing is that during this process, we replaced meters that were 20, 30 years old. And guess what those meters weren't doing? Measuring accurately. So we replaced the meters that are now charging the customer for actual usage, and customers are noticing the blame is put on rate adjustments, but actually a new meter is in place and it's accurately monitoring how much water is going through the meter. So that has been noticed by our customers as well. But utilize My360, it's a great program. To end, the last slide, I already mentioned it, and as Pastor Jackson said, unity, and we have certainly appreciated the partnership that we've had with the city over the years. And it's this partnership and working together where we can continue to meet your mission and our mission of protecting the residents of Baldwin Park. So with that, I thank you for your time. I apologize for the presentation. I try to go slow. I usually really excited and try to go around. So I purposely slowed myself down. But if there's any questions that you may have, I would be more than happy to go through those as well, or any clarifications.
Thank you, Jose. Does anyone have any questions up in the dais?
Mayor, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I don't have any questions. I just want to thank you, Jose, and I want to thank the board of directors for being here also, President Pacheco. I appreciate the information always, Jose, the updates that you give us. Thank you.
Welcome.
Go ahead, Councilman
Yeah.
Estrada.
So definitely appreciate you coming to City Hall, to Chambers, and explaining to us the rundown on the water rates. The only question I would ask is, I know you mentioned the consultants did that study. Is that a study that's open, like available to the general public, or is that something that
I'm sorry, Ken, I'm not sure your mic is on.
Sorry, this mic seems to be a little faulty, but I was asking, I know that you mentioned a study done by a third-party consultant.
Mhm.
Is that a study that's available?
That study is on
public?
our website. Yep.
Anyone else?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Jose, I know I've asked this before. I know that we have 9 wells, 4 of which were inoperable due to the procurement years ago. Is that
You're digging deep in the well right there.
Is that still I'm kind of curious, is that still the case?
Yes. So technically, we have 4 operating wells. At one point, we had over 10 wells. Most, half of them, 6 of them, you want to be exact, were lost to contamination. We have actively, if we go back to that grant one of the grant that we were looking at was actually to bring that one of those wells back in operation. And another way we look to provide affordable water is going after the responsible parties for the contamination and having them pay for the treatment costs associated with that, as we may have to do with the Lario, and why we continue to look at that and investigate that. But that's our job. That's our passion. That's our responsibility of what we do every day to ensure that we provide safe water to the community.
Last question, the silos, are they still able to look at other potential contaminants? Because I know that when it first came in, it was catching all these different contaminants. Is that still the case? Because from my understanding, you're able to renew the technology itself.
Yeah, technology does change, but unfortunately, UV is a great technology for disinfection, but I don't know if anybody's seen their Edison bill. And I don't even throw Edison bills compared to water rates, because that's about 3 times or 4 times what water. Over 10% of our expenses is to pay for the electricity to provide, to treat the water. So we certainly understand, expenses associated with electricity, but technology is changing. And so are the contaminants. PFAS was on nobody's radar 5 years ago, and yet we're testing for it now. And the costs associated are immense. Microplastics, and I don't want to scare everybody, but this is why I have no hair. So microplastics is another process of, and just testing for microplastics is very detailed, and some of the costs associated with that in a recent study that I was reading are mind-blowing. But this is the reality. Certainly, we wish and that we could keep rates and keep things stable, but the cost of doing nothing is not an option. We have to continue to be proactive and to ensure that we provide safe, reliable water.
Sorry about that. Let me add. So once that water goes to those silos, where does it ship? Because from my understanding, before it was shipped out.
Maybe you should come to our community workshop so we can talk about the chain of hazardous waste and who holds that responsibility, because that's and we can probably bring a lawyer to explain all the processes of that. But there is, and that is one of the, because when you remove those contaminants, it's in that filter bed, it's in that material, and you have to ship it somewhere, and those are costs associated with that. But at some point, somebody still holds the liability of removing that contaminant, and someone's going to have that chain of custody of who it belongs to, and potentially could be liable for the future.
Right. Well, first of all, thank you very much for your informative information, and the board members, President Pacheco as well. And then I'll see both Mr. Muse and Mr. Vargas over at the water drinking place at the concert tomorrow. We'll discuss some other issues.
The watering hole.
Yes.
And please, we'll be advertising for our public workshop and our bill inserts and social media. And if you're not following us on social media or coming to our board meetings, please, I encourage everybody to attend and participate.
Thank you very much. Madam Mayor?
Anyone else? Nope. I do
Okay.
have a question.
Oh,
Yes.
go ahead. That's fine.
You have another question? Go ahead.
No, go ahead after you finish.
No, go ahead, finish.
I just want to acknowledge, I'm sorry about that, our school board member, Ms. Norma Olmos, for being here just out to the left.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Olmos.
Unfortunately, she had to hear the presentation twice.
I have a quick question. I'm happy to hear that you're working on the infrastructure and that you have grants to fix that. I know it's a crazy question, but what happened last year with the fires, is our infrastructure solid enough that we would not run into the problem of running out of water if ever we were to have such an event here?
I would say the likelihood, since we're not that close to the foothills, that the likelihood of that type of event is not a high probability in our area. But that is something that we look at when we just conducted our master plan. We look at peak demands. What is the maximum if everybody flushed their toilets, if we had a fire, if we had everything going on? would we meet this max demand? And what was identified in that is that we need additional storage capacity. So that's why we actively went over. One of the main reasons why we were at our new headquarters is because we had to abandon the space where our old operation headquarters was. So we sold our property. I think everybody's enjoying our old lot where Dutch Brothers is. So you're
Mhm.
welcome for it. So we left that facility. We used the proceeds from that to offset construction costs for our new building. But the main reason was, and this was been talked for the last 20 years, is to vacate that property. And that was identified as the best location right across the street from the Athens, and why we also stood together with the city to question that project being built right there, because we are looking, and that is going to be the location for the construction of our two new reservoirs. And there is a matching cost, 25%, 75% of that's cost, construction costs are coming from FEMA, 25%, but we're still waiting for that go ahead from FEMA, and we know FEMA's going through their issues there. But every day that it goes by, the construction costs for that project go up. And that's why delays of known projects only add to the overall cost for these projects.
Okay. And then I have a question on the rate increases. I know increases have to happen. However, right now, with a lot of people being out of work, things are slowing down. People are going back to work and they're not as scared because of the ICE raids and all that. If they are having a difficult time paying their bill, I know now you have the new program to lower the rates, but even with that, if they are having a hard time paying their bills, do you have a payment plan? Do you make it easier for them to make very low payments so that their water doesn't get shut off?
Yeah, we do work with our customers with there was new legislation that was passed, SB 998, that there's actually a 60-day delay process. So if individual hasn't made payments, that there's a 60-day grace period before anybody is shut off. So during that time period, the customer can contact the district and start working out a payment process to catch up. During the pandemic, we actually froze our rates for 2 years. At a detriment to our reserves. We had about a 25% loss in reserves during that time to endure that and to freeze our rates during that time. So that certainly impacted the district, but we knew it was best for the community at the time as everybody endured the pandemic that occurred. So we do have payment plans and work it out, but it does take communication with the district to set that up. And that is key, to communicate as best you can with the district and set up those agreements.
Okay, thank you. And then regarding the Lario Park, as you know, I was very vocal about the
Absolutely.
Lario Park and them not setting up a stage there. So far, you haven't heard anything or nothing, I hope, has come up. If anything, you're gonna let everybody know, or how are you gonna deal with that?
Absolutely. And so they did submit a report to Watermaster, San Gabriel Watermaster. It was a lot of data, so it was almost like we're trying to get buried in data. Now, personally, I feel the probability of some type of contamination to the setup that was highly unlikely, but we're still going to do our due diligence to ensure that nothing was impacted as a result of those efforts. So we're going to continue working with the county, working with Watermaster to ensure that nothing occurred at that site. And like they said, you know, the Boy Scout, they were going to leave it the way that they found it. And so hopefully that's the case.
Okay, those are all my questions. Thank you. Thank you for your information.
Appreciate it. I always appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we will go to public communication. Do we have anyone?
Yes, Mayor, we've received one card from Irma Morales, LA County Library.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening, Mayor Avila, City Council members, city staff, and community members. I wanted to give you some updates on upcoming programs at Baldwin Park Library. We are continuing our Smarty Pants story time on the 21st and the 28th from 11 to 11:30. That's for ages 2 to 5. We are also going to have a back to school extravaganza for ages 4 to 12. It's on Tuesday, August 26th from 4 to 5. And it says, treat yourself to a back-to-school gift and learn about the library's resources for students. Show off your creative skills and unique artwork by decorating pencil pouches. The program integrates tons of fun art techniques and fosters a lifelong love for art and self-expression. So that is a program for school-age children. We have a program coming up for teens through our probation department, and that is on Thursday, August the 28th. And it is teens join us during National Wellness Month and gain valuable tips and tricks for creating healthy habits, managing stress, and creating a glowing start to self-care. It's on Thursday, August 28th from 4:30 to 5:30. It's called Adult 101, Find Your Inner Glow. And lastly is we are going to open as a cooling center, of course, during our regular times. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, our normal hours are 10 to 6. We'll be open an hour later from 10 to 7 for an augmented cooling center at Baldwin Park Library. Again, any information that you'd want to find out, lacountylibrary.org. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
If we don't already have that on our website, for the cooling center, I know we have ours. Thank you for that. Anyone else? That's it. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to come up and speak at this time? No. Being that there is no interest, I will go ahead and close public communications. And we will now move on to consent calendar, items 1 through 6. Is there anyone needing to pull any of these items?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to pull item 4 and 5.
Anyone else?
Mayor, I'll pull item number 6.
Anything else? Okay, may I have a motion to approve items 1, 2, and 3?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'll move.
I hear a second.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
We have a motion by Councilmember Lozano to adopt items 1 through 3, second by Mayor Pro Tem Damian. Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes,
Motion carries
thank you.
5-0.
Item 4 is for you, Mr. Damian.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have 2 questions on this. I don't know if it's I know the staff report shows Daniel, but I think it may be for Chief. Do we know more or less when these trucks will be in operational? Once they're purchased?
I'll go ahead and I will ask our Public Works Operations Manager to answer those questions. Anthony Vasquez.
Hello, Anthony.
Good evening. So if we order them tomorrow, if they get approved today, order tomorrow. I was speaking with the dealers, 2 months to 3 months max to receive them. And then by then, the next step will go to the AME outfitting. So tentatively, November-ish.
So November before they're operational? Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you, Anthony. And then that leads to my second question. When do we expect for the chief for the CSO, the 2 CSO positions to be filled and out on patrol or on the field? Are we anticipating maybe the same time frame as the vehicles in November?
Yes, sir, I'm hoping so. I just received, just a few minutes ago, I received the specs from HR, so I'm going to go over those and look at them. Hopefully we can get that out by the first meeting in September, bring the specs to the city council.
And then once they're hired, we still got to train them, correct?
Correct. They'll go through 832 PC training and then we'll get them out in the field.
So would it be safe to say that as of January of next year, most likely, I mean, just kind of realistically speaking on a timetable, that by January of next year, we'll be able to have these 2 CSO positions ready to go on the field with the new vehicles?
That is my hope, yes, sir.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Chief. That's all the questions that I had, Mayor.
Item number 5.
So if nobody else has any questions, I'll make a motion to
Need a
approve.
motion.
Oh, yes, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Damian, second by Councilmember Lozano to adopt item number 4. Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes,
Motion carries 5-0.
thank you. Now you can go ahead with that.
Thank you, Mayor. And then on item 5, I'm just, to be honest with you, I'm just really glad to see this item coming back with Ode to Country Foundation. I know that most of us know the work that they've done in the community over the past few years. The only thing that I would ask, if this item gets approved, is that based on the specs that they do when they assist our residents in the homes, I know a lot of them are senior veterans, disabled veterans, is that maybe they can, Okina, go through the code enforcement list and see if there's any current homes that are in violation or have any citations of any type of code violations for like overgrown vegetation that will meet their criteria to be able to start assisting those homes before we open it up to the general public. That would be just my recommendation with this approval.
So add that recommendation to it.
Correct. Yes.
Anybody else have any questions on item 5?
All right, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve with the recommendation that we go through our code enforcement list, see if there's any potential residents that we can assist with first.
Second?
We have a motion to adopt item 5 as amended. Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Damian, second by Mayor Avila. Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for that. Item number 6, Councilmember Estrada.
Thank you, Mayor. So item number 6, I just wanted to ask, I know that we're amending the contract, so I know West Coast Arborist has been our long-term provider. But I just feel like recently, whenever I walk the streets, there is some trees that have been kind of outgrowing from the bottom, especially from the roots out, and they haven't been, regularly trimmed or maintained. So, I just want to make sure that we I don't know, we've already brought that towards their attention. I know that I've sent some pictures to staff in the past where, it also just makes it impossible to walk through the sidewalk. We want to make sure that I don't know if we have a specific schedule or we need to update it or what needs to happen to make sure that all of our trees are being maintained.
Yes, thank you, Councilmember Estrada. So in the amendment tonight, we are asking for additional funding. I think about $55,000 more, and that will help us trim the trees more often. But, we also would encourage residents to let us know if there's trees that are blocking the sidewalk or any concerns. Please let us know, and we will service or trim them as soon as we can.
I know, speaking of having our residents, sorry, this microphone is
Yeah.
wonky, but speaking of having our residents get involved, you have a really good point. I know a lot of the times residents aren't sure where to report it to. I know that we've been trying to work hard on the app and getting them to report it that way or to the city website. So maybe that's something that we can continue pushing, but also explaining what trees are under the city's responsibility and which ones are not, because there seems to be this kind of it's just sometimes it's not easy to find that information, and then residents kind of go back and forth as to who should be trimming the tree or who should be bringing it down, or if it's if it's bent out of shape and it needs to go, who's ultimately the responsible party. So maybe also as we work towards that might be some information that we can also dissipate to the residents.
Yeah, and as part of the sidewalk project that I'm going to present on tonight, we will be addressing trees as well as part of that sidewalk project, and that'll be the first of many annual sidewalk projects where the scope of work on those projects is to replace sidewalks, to replace trees and curb and gutter. So the sidewalk project will also help with trees that need to be replaced and are causing damage to the sidewalks and those city trees that the city is responsible for.
Okay, I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
I do have one comment, and it's interesting because that was a comment was brought to was made today regarding the tree trimming. A resident said that the trees were trimmed. However, they were left really bushy on the top and branches on the street. He didn't give me the name of the streets, however. So if we can make sure that they are being trimmed properly. I'm not an arborist, so I don't know how they're supposed to be trimming them, but that they should be picking up all the branches. And as Councilmember Estrada said, the branches overgrowing on the bottom of the trees where it blocks the sidewalk, it blocks the area. But I'm also going to ask not only the arborist being in charge of that, but as we drive by and Public Works drives by the area, or code enforcement, or even PD sees these trees overgrown, to report it to Public Works and somebody go out there immediately, because if the arborists are not scheduled to come in, the sidewalks will remain blocked for a while, and I've seen it done. So if we can just keep an eye on those type of things to make sure that we're all working together, so that we're working for the same purpose, to make sure that our sidewalks are safe, as you said, by keeping all the branches off the sidewalk and making it able so that we can walk through it without getting hurt by the trees. So if we can all work together and report it as we see it, or take action as we see it, if it is Public Works that's out there, please. Okay, no more questions? If you want to go ahead.
Sure, so I'll make a motion to approve item number 6.
Second.
We have a motion to adopt item number 6, motion moved by Councilmember Estrada, second by Mayor Avila. Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you for that. Now we are moving on to a public hearing, and this is in conjunction with the Housing Authority, item number 13. It is to conduct a public hearing and adopt resolution number 2025-031 and resolution number HA 2025-005, approving the adoption of an updated fee schedule for issuing, processing, and filing various city services and permits. Who will be presenting? Rose or Okina?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
I am sorry, when I heard housing, so I thought it's housing project. Yeah, this item belongs to me. You have any questions? I'm sorry. Anybody has question on this item? I can brief talk about it a little bit.
Yes, please.
The city hasn't updated the citywide fee for a couple of years, and we decided to also involve specialists and consultants, which is will then involve in this citywide fee study. So finance staff working with them very closely, and also we work with all departments and their related staff to review all the fees and line by line with each items, and we come up with the final fee schedule, and based on the direct costs and indirect costs. And at this time, the fee schedule for building and for planning remains the same. I'm sorry, for Public Works, because they require more time to do a little bit further study. We will bring that back to the city council later on, so we don't hold up the rest of the fee schedule, so we can moving forward with the other proposed updated city fees.
Thank you, Rose. Does anybody have any questions or comments from the dais? If not, I will go ahead and open up. Oh, okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry about that, Mayor. Just really brief, Rose. I know when I went over the the changes that you did have on the fee schedules, like the business licenses,
Yes,
and all that, when will they take effect?
it will take effect 90 days later.
So
I
in 90
believe.
days, all so in 90 days, all the fees that you've have adjusted will take effect.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Let me double check if it's 90 days or
It's-
60
I think it's
days.
60.
60 days.
60
I
days.
just thought.
30 days?
Remember, 60 days. Yeah.
Once.
I just remember, I said I try to do 30 days. Then I verify with the city attorney also. And has to be 60 days.
Great. Thank you, Rose. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I also want to let the community know that we did a reasonable update because we put them in the consideration also. And for the public and for the record, the business license tax stayed the same. We haven't increased any business license tax or fees.
Do you know when was the last time any of those fees were increased, just so the public will know?
We checked. Looks like in 1983,
Oh my
and
goodness.
we made a small change, a very small update in 1991. One of the surrounding city, they just had that done. They went to the voter and it got passed.
Okay. Thank you for that, Rose. I think it was
Thank
due
you.
for a change. Thank you.
I was gonna say, in regards to business license, those are, it's a tax, so it does have to get the voters' approval.
We can study that little bit more since this city hasn't changed any of the fees. They remain in a very lower range.
Yeah,
It hasn't been changed since 1983.
Okay. Thank you, Rose.
You're welcome.
Okay, and I will open up public communication. Anybody here to speak for or against public hearing item number 7?
7 and 13.
7 and 13, yes, thank you for that, for the housing also. No one, being that there is no interest, I will now close the public hearing. Do I hear a motion?
Madam Mayor?
Yes, sir. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
We have a motion to adopt items number 7 and 13 simultaneously. Motion by Councilmember Lozano, second by Mayor Pro Tem Damian. Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes,
Motion carries 5-0.
thank you. And now we are moving to item number 8, reports of officers, project state updates, and the CDBG citywide sidewalk replacement project. I'm excited about that.
Yes, very. Yeah, so good evening, Mayor, Council. Per your request, I'm pleased to present tonight on the status of the fiscal year 25-26 citywide CDBG sidewalk replacement project. Next slide, please. So the city receives community development block grant funds from HUD, and it has requirements on income for those funds to be spent, and pretty much the entire city limits is eligible for that funding source. And for this specific project, we currently have $400,000 available for it. We're estimating that the $400,000 will not cover all of the identified locations, but we are working with our community development team to acquire more CDBG funds. And we also have SB1 funds to supplement the CDBG funds to finish all of the sidewalks on our list. Next slide. So throughout the city, we have very many sidewalks, curbs, and gutter that require replacement due to cracking, tree root uplift, or other significant damage. the locations that were identified in the CDBG grant, they were identified a few years ago. And those are specifically in that grant. And staff is currently doing field inspections to verify the exact scope of that work. Next slide. These are a few of the locations on our list. There's one on Stewart Avenue, Larry Avenue, Fraser Street. Those are just a few of the locations. Those are typical locations where the sidewalk has lifted or the curb and gutter has lifted, a lot of the times due to trees. Next slide. This is just showing that we have 93 locations. Like I mentioned, staff, this list is in the staff report, and staff's out there verifying the specific scope of each location. Several or many of these locations have already been addressed. And in some of these locations, the problems seem to be very minor. And at the end of the day, we're estimating that we're going to have about 65 actual locations in our project, because the rest of them have been already addressed by our operations staff. Next slide. So the project goals are to improve accessibility for all individuals, to enhance neighborhood aesthetics and walkability, to respond to resident concerns, reduce the risk of pedestrian injuries and liability claims, and to ensure compliance with ADA requirements. Next slide. Again, city staff are conducting field inspections to determine the specific scope at each location, and we are working on the plans and specifications to advertise and bid the project. Due to CDBG requirements and strict labor compliance regulations, we are recommending that we focus on the list that we have, and that will ensure that the project remains compliant with the federal requirements, and then we avoid any delays or grant impacts. Next slide. And the project is very straightforward and very simple in that we're not, digging underground. The improvements are on the surface. We're removing and replacing sidewalk, curb and gutter, select drive approaches, and trees that are causing damage. Next slide. So this is our tentative schedule. We are in design. We will advertise for bids somewhere around October 23rd, have our bid opening November 13th, award the project in December, and we are hoping to start construction late February. Next slide. So staff is recommending the city council provide input on the project and receive and file this report regarding the status of the project. Next slide. With that, I'll open it up to any questions and input the council has.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
Mayor,
Yes, go ahead,
I
please.
just wanted to ask, so I know that there's 93 locations, and then are these going to be done in-house, or you're trying to have a
So
contract?
there are 93 locations that were established as far as that CDBG grant. So that's what originally was on the list. But since then, staff has been working on some of these. So far we've identified 10 locations that have already been addressed, that our operations staff has already replaced the panels, and the work is done at those locations. Other locations, we can't seem to find what the problem is, so we don't understand why those locations were put on the list. So we've done our field investigation and we cannot see what the issues are with the sidewalk. There seems to be no sidewalk that's uplifted. And again, we don't know how that list was established a few years ago. So right now, my estimate is that on this final project, we will replace between 65 and 70 locations because the other 23 locations have already been addressed or they don't seem to be significant enough to do at this time.
And they're being done in-house.
No, this project we are designing it in-house. There's not much design to do. We're preparing the specifications. There is CDBG, a lot of CDBG requirements because it is federal funding and they're very strict with labor compliance, but we are hiring a contractor. We are going to put this out to bid and get bids from contractors to do this work. So just the design and the investigation and coming up with the final list and putting the contract documents out, that's being done in-house.
Oh, no, yeah, that's true.
Okay,
It is not-
that's my question. Thanks.
Any more questions?
I've got a couple, Mayor. Thank you. Thank you for the presentation, Daniel. I do have a couple of questions. So you said originally there was 93 locations that were identified, but you're looking to maybe do 65 to 70. And with the $400,000 from CDBG, which is available for funding, what do you anticipate we would have in SB1 funds?
So in SB1 funds, we have quite a bit of flexibility. We can use up to $500,000 in SB1 funds if we needed to. I don't think we will need that much. I think right now the shortage we're looking at is somewhere between $150,000 and $200,000, but we will not know that until we complete all of our field investigations and we determine the exact scope at all of these locations. If there's no trees, we can probably do, certain locations for, $1,000 or $2,000. When you have a tree and curb and gutter and 20 or 40, 50 square feet, then those locations are about $10,000. So each location is slightly different, but we're sure that we'll be able to complete and address all of the locations on the list. We're also working with community development to maybe allocate some more CDBG funds that may be available to this project. So then we would not even need to use the SB1's funds for this project. So I again, like I mentioned previously, I don't think the funding will be an issue for us. It's just making this a priority and allocating staff resources to get it done.
And then how many years back is this list? So you said these sidewalks have been on there for years. How many years back are we talking?
I know some of these sidewalks have been on the list maybe for 5 or 6 years. Again, I haven't really looked into the history. As far as the CDBG funds, I think that's only been in discussions for a couple years, maybe 2 or 3 years, but the funds weren't officially allocated, I believe, until the last fiscal year.
And does this list include any current complaints as of last week or last month?
No, this list was established and approved, I'm guessing maybe a year and a half ago. So, like I mentioned, we're hoping to get this project completed, to button it up and get it out to bid. And then once we have our system down and we have our contract documents down, we plan to do at least one of these sidewalk projects every year with either CDBG funds or SB1 funds. So while I am recommending that we leave this list as is to kind of proceed, so we're not amending the list, we do plan to do many more sidewalk projects. So any current complaints as we're getting them, we would consider them for the next sidewalk project.
So let's just consider this would be like a phase 1, right? Obviously,
Correct.
if they've already been on the list for 5, 6 years, we cannot and we don't want to delay this any longer. We want to make sure we get these done. But you said that this list was approved a year and a half ago. So is it safe to say that everything that's been reported from a year and a half ago to now is not on this list, so it's still kind of in limbo somewhere?
And our Public Works operations staff, they are actively replacing and grinding, doing repairs, mostly repairs, but some replacement of some more urgent locations. So some complaints that we get recently are being addressed. So our Public Works operations staff are addressing on a smaller scale those more urgent locations that need urgent repairs.
So maybe what we would want to do is in the future get a list of
Correct.
sidewalks that are not going to be included in this list. And my biggest concern is always going to be the safety, right? Because I've seen some of the sidewalks that they've sent over to me, and they look like the ones that you presented here, where they're picked up, whether they're through the tree roots or whatever it is. But with this next list, just say phase 2, right? Let's get this done. But then we're going to come and address these other sidewalks that we have that need desperate repair. When would we be able to say that we can anticipate to maybe start working on those sidewalks?
Yeah, I think as soon as we complete this project, or even once we hire a contractor and they're doing the work, we can start establishing the list of the next project that we will bid. So
Okay. Yeah, and that's what I would ask for, colleagues, is that if we, once we get this done, that they start working on the next list of sidewalks that need immediate repair, so that way we can start looking at ways to fund that and get that approved, so we can just go back to back if we can. That's all the questions that I have. Thank you, Daniel.
Anyone else have questions?
Can I quick comment?
Yes.
Just, this is one of those issues from a liability standpoint that, and I want to commend Public Works because, we did get a claim related to a sidewalk issue. And number one thing we do is go to Public Works and find out what they've done. So they have a process which they're supposed to, when you get one of these come in, a claim, or when there's a complaint like that, they go out and they grind it to try and eliminate the lift. They also take pictures, which in this case, they gave me great photos that were really helpful to show that the lift of where the incident occurred was insignificant, and it'll help us in eliminating the claim in the lawsuit. So that's part of what he's trying to deal with, is that when these come in, they have to send somebody out to immediately kind of grind it or try to deal with the issue. As long as we're not aware of it, there's a defense. But once we become aware of it, then we have to address it. So that's the issue that we're kind of dealing with. We learn of something like this, we need to go out there, we need to take some kind of preliminary action, but that may be a more permanent fix is kind of these, through the year, we're going to go out there and replace some of these panels, do larger work. But I just wanted you to be aware, there's liability issues related to once we become aware, it's like a condition. We got to do something about it. And we are doing that. And I commend them on the work they're doing.
Thank you for that. Any more comments from anyone? I just want to add that based on the list, I have received some complaints, and I do see some of the addresses that I recently received. So they were probably put on here 5 to 6 years ago, but they're coming back and putting them in again. So I do see some of the recent, but yet they're old. So thank you for putting on that list and following up. Now, when do you plan on going to put this to bid?
yes, yeah, it was in here. So October 23rd ish. October 23rd is our goal.
Okay.
That's about 2 months from now.
And how long will it be out to bid? From the
It'll be
23rd?
out to bid about 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Okay.
Yeah.
Just
And
so
then
we can
we'll
keep track.
and then we'll award it in the council in December. And yeah, we can make a date specific contract, so we can put in the specs that the contractor has to start on February 23rd.
Okay.
And
And I just want to add to what our attorney said. I know I have reported sidewalks, and they have immediately gone out there to rope it off, mark it, to make sure the residents are aware that there is a danger, imminent danger in the area. And I've seen when they file down the sidewalks or even put in that black tar, whatever it is, to kind of level it off because they are big projects. Now, some of these projects consist of trees uplifting the sidewalk. Are you removing those trees and planting new trees, or what do you do in a case like that?
Yeah, that's the plan. We'll try to save as many trees as we can, unless they're causing severe damage. Then we will consider removing the tree and planting a new tree.
Because I know some of these trees, the roots have gone into the pipes of the residents. So let's just make sure we pick trees that don't have a lot of roots that like traveling. So, but thank you for the work you're doing. I know it's a lot of work. And I look forward to these sidewalks being fixed and us working on the new list so we can continue the improvements. And I know you have your hands full coming into the city, but I've seen that you've attacked it, you're working on it, and you're moving forward with everything, and I really appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, oh, thank you. And also, if we are able to get more funding, even if we put this project out to bid, I don't know, Christian, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but typically we can add up to 25% of the contract amount. You know, we lock in our unit prices. I know change orders are a bad word, but if we lock in our price per square foot, per tree, per curb and gutter linear foot, we lock in those prices and we can do more. You know, if we have funding available, we can do, if we're doing 70 locations, and if we have funding, we can add another 15 locations, you know, with the contractor. And yes, it's a change order and we're paying more, but they're not price gouging us because our unit prices are locked in. So that's another option. If our bids come in low and we have additional funding, we can do a lot more locations.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you for that. No more questions? Let's just file correct. Do I have a motion to file?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
We have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Damian, a second by Councilmember Lozano. Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes,
Motion carries 5-0.
thank you. Thank you for that.
It's filed away.
And now we are moving to City Council acting as the successor agency of the dissolved Community Development Commission. Item number 9, Treasurer Report SA June 2025. Do I hear a motion?
I'll go ahead.
I'll second.
Roll call?
We have a motion by Councilmember Lozano, second by Mayor Pro Tem Damian, Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Now we're going to the Finance Authority. Item number 10, Treasurer Report FA June 2025. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
We have a motion by Councilmember Ayala, second by Councilmember Lozano, Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Now we're moving to the Housing Authority. Item number 11, Baldwin Park Housing Authority warrants and demands. And item number 12, Treasury Report HA June 2025. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
We have a motion by Councilmember Ayala, second by Councilmember Lozano, Councilmember Ayala,
Yes.
Councilmember Estrada,
Yes.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Damian,
Yes.
Mayor Avila.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. And we've already done number 13, Housing Authority. So now we are moving to City Council, City Clerk, City Treasurer, staff request. I know there's nothing on this list, but is there anyone here that has anything to add?
Yes, Madam City Clerk. Mayor, thank you very much.
I-
Please accept my apology.
I'm gonna get
I've
you.
not done that in a long time. I'll even apologize tomorrow. I know.
Fail today.
I know. Just two things and I'll be quick. Not certain whether, I know that the pocket park that was proposed off of Puente, over and, no, Puente and Walnut Creek. I'm not certain whether that includes a street light on Puente and Walnut Creek, one of the most, worst areas to attempt to make a left turn. I took a walk over there. Residents were complaining on how dangerous it is. So if a park's gonna open there and they want to go there, that's gonna be very challenging for them. So we might want to look at a street light right on Puente and Walnut Creek. We'll take a look at that. You have all those vehicles parked along that area. Second, lastly, I ended up meeting up with the Bassett residents, a good handful that were Mr. Rios was there, and I told them that I was there basically there to hear them out, and that we could not promise anything because this is an ongoing situation that has to do directly with the Bassett Unified School District, but obviously it has to come through the process since it happens to be on the City of Baldwin Park property. So just want to let everyone know. So it was an interesting meeting, a lot of information, and so on and so forth. So I just want to make sure that I'm transparent and letting all our council members know. I did share that we are all working together, and obviously, as it goes on, they'll have more information. Lastly, if we could provide them or send me off and all the council members the information that is public for them to be that can be shared, so that they at least know when the actual situation will be heard, because they're coming here and they're not kind of mixed up as thinking it's going to happen tomorrow, so on and so forth. All right, that's the only thing I have.
To go to our commission.
Yes, that is correct.
So they can be informed that it has to go through the commission first. Okay, anyone else? You're excused. City clerk. Anyone else, anything?
Yes, just good night.
Okay, I do want to say something. I got an email, let me open it really quick, from the Alzheimer's Foundation of America. It says that each year they hold an annual Light with the World in Teal. And it's an initiative that they do to light up the buildings in teal color. And they're asking us if we would want to participate in lighting our bridge, because they know that we always light up our bridge for different occasion, and any other parts of the city, if we want to join them and be part of that. So we can do that in November. I would like to ask that we light up our bridge and maybe our city hall in teal the month of November. So if it's okay with you guys, I'll respond to them and I'll let them know that we'll definitely do that. And since we don't have anything
Mayor,
else, yes,
Before I forget,
yes.
I think we all got this morning an email about CPUC, about the possibility of the San Gabriel Valley Water Company trying to raise their rates.
Oh, yeah.
I know that we did send out a letter to Valley County Water District, and I know that my colleague asked for all of us to send a letter to all the water agencies. And so we really want to keep an eye on that. And also, if we need to send a letter to CPUC, then also connect with their advocacy person and make sure that we're doing that. So, it just goes against, we're doing this across the board, right? We're not picking and choosing who we're asking to
Correct.
do their part. We're asking everybody, and so I would ask that we follow up with the CPUC, and if there's a letter of support that they need from us, then that we send one as well.
Okay, thank you. And I know this is going to be Public Works for the lighting. It'll be November 3rd. So we can start looking for the lights. Thank you.
Also, Mayor, council members, I just realized I received an email from the office of Congressman Cisneros, and he was asking if, I guess it was probably an email to all the city clerks in the San Gabriel Valley, but asking if we'd be willing to give them some pins. Just they like to
City pins?
honor city pins so that they can honor our cities throughout. And so I just wanted to make sure to get consensus from the council before requesting them from our CEO and sending them. So
You could do it as a fundraiser and charge a little fee. Just kidding. I'm kidding,
we'll ask
Congressman
for some,
Cisneros.
we'll ask for some congressional pins in return.
Just kidding. Since there's no other business, do I hear a motion to close? No?
I motion to adjourn.
Second? We are finished. Have a good night, everyone.